Greetings and welcome to the Southside Help Center show. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in, and if you have any questions, give us a call here at the station. This is a live call-in show. Our number here is 312-738-1060. 312-738-1060. If you have any questions about anything that we talk about, give us a call here at the station. We'll do our best to answer those questions for you. Tonight's show, we're going to talk a little bit. Let me just tell you what who Southside Help Center is. We're a social service agency located on the south side of Chicago. We've been over there on 104th and Office, 104th and Halsted, and we've been doing prevention work for well over 20 years. Tonight we're going to talk about one of our programs, which is our Safety Counts program. Our Safety Counts program is a harm reduction program to deal with people who are actively using. We're going to get a little bit more in depth with the Safety Counts program, but first I really would like to thank all of those individuals who tune in every week. Our senior citizen home over on 63rd, and I believe it's 63rd and Low, but it's Vivian Carter. And to all of the seniors over there who support our program, we'd like to thank you very much, and thank you for tuning in. When we start talking about the holistic approach that Southside Help Center offer, I want to make sure that we do not leave out the Valerie Smith Reed Scholarship Fund. For many, many years, we have been providing a number of students with a scholarship each year. We're going to talk about that as the weeks go on. We'll be on for about another 12 weeks, and we're going to talk about these different things. But I want to make sure that we always put in a tag, because it's so important that our youth understand that we have programs surrounding them and definitely trying to keep them in school. So with the Scholarship Fund, if you would like more information about the Valerie Smith Reed Scholarship Fund, please give us a call back at the agency. That number is 773-445-5445, or you can go online and get us at www.southsidehelp.org. Again, Valerie Smith Reed Scholarship Fund has been providing scholarships for students for many, many, many years, and we're going to continue to do that work. So please, if you're a student in school, if you're a mother or father or parent with a child that's in school, finna graduate, definitely check into that scholarship fund. Make sure that you fill out an application so that you can qualify for that. Again, you can reach us at www.southsidehelp.org. So please make sure that you get that done. Tonight, we're going to talk about a vital program within the Southside Help Center, and this is a Safety Counts program. Let me tell you a little bit what Safety Counts is. Safety Counts is a harm reduction program that's geared towards people who are actively using. That might be injection drug users or non-injection drug users. Now, you got to remember, we look at the holistic approach to prevention. That means that oftentimes people think because someone is using some sort of substance or someone is affected with the disease of addiction, that means that they're no good, and that's just not the case. Oftentimes people have to understand what addiction is, what it means, what type of programs exist for those who are in the grips of the disease of addiction, and what we need to do to help those individuals. And that's why we talk about holistic approach from the Southside Help Center. Safety Counts is funded through the Centers for Disease Control, and it is a harm reduction program. So this program directly targets individuals who are using. Now, when you say that, people talk about you got programs for people who using drugs, people who using dope, absolutely, because the one thing that we want people to understand, people who use drugs, you need help. You need help in the process of getting off of drugs. You need help in the process of getting into treatment, and so forth and so on. Safety Counts take the individuals who are actively using, and we provide them with an avenue. We provide them with a vessel to making some good decisions, and then helping them to reach those goals. Again, this is a goal-oriented program. Oftentimes when people come into a Safety Counts group and they're actively using, the first thing that they want to do is they want to get clean most times. But then you have to look at what are those steps to getting clean. One, you have to find a treatment facility that'll take you. You have to make those phone calls. You have to set up those dates and all of these different things that come along with getting clean. It's always a desire and a want to get clean, but is there a process? And that's what Safety Counts offer individuals who are actively using. It offers them a vessel. It offers them a way. It gives them guidance. It gives them a counselor, an individual who will work with them every step of the way. So that's what Safety Counts does. We'll talk about the core elements of Safety Counts, because those things are very important to the individuals. And the other thing we must talk about is sub-situations, because oftentimes, because we're talking about HIV prevention and education, and we would like for people to take advantage of the services, sometimes there's other things that are going on in your life that are more important. And that's why we talk about sub-situations. And when we talk about that, it's just like, for instance, we oftentimes may be talking about HIV and its prevention or testing and counseling, and here's an individual who's homeless. Well, their priority is not HIV, nor is it prevention. It's getting somewhere to stay. It's getting somewhere warm, somewhere to sleep, something to eat. So we have to look at those things that may be hindering an individual's process. This is what Safety Counts does. Safety Counts is a program designed, it's an evidence-based program where we have core elements. Core elements deal with where we may have the first two sessions may be an enrollment, and it may be a group session where we talk about different things that you would like to accomplish. So those take place as two of those. This process lasts maybe, I want to not know maybe, but 2 to 4 months is the length of the process, and a lot of time it goes longer because we do get individuals who are involved in the Safety Counts program who continue to come. But the first thing is going to be those 2 group sessions. Get involved in those group sessions, get enrolled. When the Safety Counts meet, we meet on Thursdays, 63rd and Ashland at the UIC. UIC has been gracious enough to allow us to use a room in their facility. So if you're interested in the Safety Count program or have someone who is interested, you can give us a call either here at the station. We'll get that information to you, or you can give us a call at the agency. The number here at the station is 312-738-1060. This is a live call-in show. If you have any questions about the Safety Counts program, which we're talking about today, give us a call here at the station. So the first two core elements will be enrollment as well as those first 2 group sessions. The next thing the Safety Counts would do is take that individual and they will have an individual session. An individual session is a lot more detailed where you can get a one-on-one with the counselor, where you can talk about what are your real goals, realistic goals, and then what we can do step by step to get you to that goal. That's so very important because oftentimes we want to do things, but we don't know how, or we don't know how to go about doing it, the process. So it's important that you get that individual counseling session so you can talk about realistically what is it that I would like to do. The other thing is Safety Counts provides social events. There's a couple of social means just that. Social events mean that those individuals who are enrolled or involved in the program, at the end of the month, they have an opportunity to come in, sit down, maybe bring a family member or a supportive, someone who's going to support them through this process, and we talk about different things. We also do maybe a short workshop, and we eat, and we have a lot of fun. But social events are very important in order to support the social structure of individuals who are trying to make a difference in their lives. I believe we got a caller. We're going to finish those core elements. Caller, you're on the air.
Yes, I'm calling because I have a question about a teenager.
Okay.
16-year-old young boy, that's incarcerated in Cook County Jail.
Okay.
He's on drugs. He's had a lot of trauma in his life, and he's been using ecstasy and drugs. So do you guys have an outreach, work with these 16-year-olds and teenagers?
We do. We have a number of different youth programs where we deal with prevention, substance abuse prevention, as well as HIV prevention and so forth. So we do have programs that deal specifically with youth. And over the next 12 weeks, we definitely will be highlighting those programs. But meanwhile, what you can do is you can give us a call at the agency. Our number's there at 773-445-5445. In the youth department, Mr. Marcus Flanall is head of the youth department. And again, we go into schools on a regular basis and we do prevention and education. We got school-based programs. We have after-school programs where the youth actually come to the center and get a number of different prevention programs. And we also have, what does they call it? It's called Y-Stop, and it's a group of around the same age as this individual, so they have to able to come together and talk about some of the different challenges they may be meeting. We also have male and female mentoring as well. So we do have a number of different programs that we can offer. So it's very important that, you said that he's incarcerated. When you get out, to definitely set a plan of action. Give us a call because we do have a number of different programs that address a lot of needs, and we do try the holistic approach. If we do not have a program, we'll do what we can to get you plugged into something. So give us a call back at the agency. When we have a little bit more time, we can talk one-on-one where we can actually help you with that young individual. And I thank you for calling. We're talking about Safety Counts, and Safety Counts is a harm reduction program that caters to individuals who are actively using, and we talk about what we can do to reduce their risk. One of the things that Safety Counts do is it works on the stages of change model. Stages of change mean, I want to try to explain what stages of change so that you can understand what a stages of change is, and it's just how it sounds. Stages of changes in the individual's life, because oftentimes when people start out using drugs, they may not be at a particular point in their life. So what we do is we identify what point in your life you're at. when we're talking about safety count and harm reduction. That means where are you at right now, and what can we do to move you to the next phase? And it's not where we think you are, but we're going to identify where you are in your life. And that's what stages of change actually is. It's just like it sounds. What point in your life are you at when you're talking about substance abuse, and where would you like to be, and what can we do to help you get from point A to point B? And safety counts deal definitely with the structural and support of an individual. We got a caller. Let me get this caller. Caller, you're on the air.
Yes, good afternoon. How you doing?
Good afternoon. I'm good.
Right. The last caller just put a light up in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone, I live out here also in the 34th Ward.
Okay.
And, it's every ward. In the mornings, people, you could drive down the street, you see young kids going to school,
Mm-hmm.
in their uniform, they smoking, they blunts, and you hear the story of Ease taking exes and stuff. You know what? I wonder if you went to maybe, this is just a suggestion, if you go to the alderman, and maybe she could pull another string, instead of waiting for the kids to come to y'all guys over there on Halsted, maybe these 3 high schools out here, what is it? You got Finger, you got Morgan Park, and you got Julian.
You got Julian.
They dropped so many classes, programs. Maybe they could allocate a few dollars to y'all guys where y'all could take the program into the school. Take it to them. Make it up 45 minutes or whatever, I don't know, 40-some minutes for a class. Maybe they could get y'all in there. Y'all been around here a long time. And also, Mrs. Austin was part of that church up there. So she might have an open ear for y'all guys. It's just a suggestion. I'm not trying to tell you to do anything, but we know we need to do something with these kids.
Absolutely.
And if you get them now, maybe if you could save one, that is good.
Yeah.
You always have a good show.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And we do have school-based initiatives where we're going into the school and we're talking about these different violence prevention programs. We're talking about negotiation skills, but always it's not enough. We need more. We need more support from the school system. We need more support from the aldermen. Not that we don't get it. We thank you, Alderman Austin, 34th Ward. We thank you for the support that we do. But we can always use just that much more because you can get on. You do see what our children are getting into. And this is why we talk about prevention and intervention, and why is it so important what prevention is, what intervention is. And people need to understand there is a difference. Prevention happens before the problem starts. Intervention is once we identify it to be a problem, then we go and intervene. We got to get a lot of these kids before they start the behavior and talk about negotiations, talk about alternative programming, what that means, and where can we get these services and the type of support that we need to continue those services. We'll come back to that. I got a caller. Let me get this caller. Caller, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air.
Yes. I'm a young adult, the age of 26.
Okay.
And it's a lot of programs out here, but like me, I don't know how to go about trying to, be a part of these programs. Like, I'm a re-entering citizen because I have a felony.
Okay.
And now I'm on a waiting list for low income, and I don't even think that I will be able to get it because I have that felony. But that was from 2004.
Okay.
So I'm like, needing to know, like, what should I do?
Okay, well, one of the things that you should do is just what you're doing, staying positive, and I hear it in your voice, and I notice I hear the willingness, and that's always a great sign. But the first thing you do is you stay positive and you stay diligent, and what you have to do is stay consistent. Because there's a number of different things that they have. When you talk about felonies, you talk about expungement, and also I don't know that that'll stop you from getting the necessary assistance that you need. You have to stay diligent, you have to stay consistent with what you're doing, and you have to stay positive. And then again, because there are a lot of programs out here, and we try to offer as many supportive programs as possible, but if not, we try to make sure that we can refer you to somewhere where you can also get this support that you need. What you need to do is definitely the center is always open, and we need young adults like you with a positive mental attitude that's trying to do some positive things and get some direction to come in. We can sit down, we can talk about some alternative programs we may have for you, some things you may want to look at as far as trying to deal with that felony if it becomes a problem, because it just may not prohibit you from doing what you need to do. But again, that's why when we're talking about safety counts and we talk about stages of change, it doesn't matter whether it's a substance abuse user or it's a young lady like this who's talking about doing some positive things. She said that happened several years ago, but now she's looking at doing some different things with her life. So that's a great thing. So now we need to make sure that we have alternative programs for young people, for young women who are trying to do the right thing, young men who are trying to do the right thing, as well as those who have been afflicted with the disease of addiction. We want to make sure that we also continue to try to help them. We got a lot of programs at the center, and the one thing about this program is we only have a short amount of time and we can't cover them all. I wish that we could. But over the next 12 weeks, we're going to be focusing on different programs that are youth programs that talk about the school-based initiatives. We're going to be talking about the volunteer programs for young ladies like yourself, young men who want to get involved. One of the biggest, we always talk about walk the walk, and sometimes just seeing an individual who is willing to do the right things in order to get the process is most important to us and most important to our youth. So it's important that you guys make sure you stay tuned in, because every week we're going to try to bring you something that's going to help you. If not, we're going to be able to refer you so that you can get the necessary help. So we thank you for calling in. And after the show, if you need to call, give us a call at the agency. That number is 773-445-5445, and we're going to see what we can do to get you referred to those programs. Again, we don't know that it will, but we want to make sure that we try to provide you as much as we can, or as many resources as we can. So we thank you. We're talking about safety counts and stages of change, and this is what stages of change is, just like it sounds. It doesn't mean that you have to be an active user in order for to apply stages of change. You can be anybody that want to make some changes in your life, and it just talks about where am I at today, where would I like to be, and how would I like to get there. Safety counts, we talked about one of the core elements being those support groups. That's across the board for anyone who's trying to do some different things in their life. You need support, meaning that you are not the only one who have had these issues or had these concerns or are trying to do some different things. So that's why support groups are so very important. We'll talk about that in the upcoming weeks. The support groups that we provide for HIV positive clients, how important that is. But right now we're talking about those that we provide for people who are actively using or afflicted with the disease of addiction. We're talking about safety counts. Safety counts is a harm reduction program that the Southside Help Center has been offering over the last 6 years. We're currently funded to do it over the next 5 years. We have clients who have been with us the entire time. So we're going to continue to talk about substance abuse. We're going to continue to talk about what we can do to deal with the disease of addiction. It is a disease, and people who are afflicted by it do need support. They don't need to be judged. They need to be helped. So that's what we're talking about with the safety counts. We'll get to those next two core elements. We're going to take this call. Make sure we get that call. This is a live call-in show. If you have any questions, call us here, 312-738-1060. Caller, you're on the air.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, I'm commenting on a young lady.
Speak up a little bit for me.
I'm commenting on a young lady who just called. She was 26 and a felony.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I have a Class X felony.
Oh, okay.
20 years felony.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she'll be able to get her housing.
Okay.
But a job, Chicago, no. Experience.
Yeah.
They're not going to help you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's no, I didn't went through every program y'all got. Even Southside Help.
Okay.
Y'all programs don't help. Y'all send people to here, and then the only thing we do, we get slapped in the face.
Wait a minute. Let's clear it up. You say we send people through
the programs. Y'all, it ain't y'all fault.
Okay. Well, we want to make sure that that's clear, because here's another thing that we talk about. We talk about programming and why is it so important that we become entrepreneurs. Because just like you said, we do understand that when people make mistakes, oftentimes society does not want to give them a second chance. So it's not all about the individual. What we try to do is provide you with options. And one of those things is entrepreneurship, because sometimes we have to create our own jobs. We have to create our own circumstances,
And
because you're right.
Exactly what I did.
And see, that's what we need to hear. We understand that a lot of times people are going to judge you, and people are going to try to hold you back for something that you may have done when you were younger. You made a mistake, and now you're making a difference. So we want you to talk about what you're doing now, because just like you said, you created your own self a position, your own self a job, and you'll be the one that'll provide that job for the next individual who make a mistake when they're young. And remember, we're talking about prevention and intervention. We want to make sure that we prevent them.
But it's okay, just like you were saying. That. Okay, I created my own business. I got my license and everything.
And that's
it's
beautiful.
It's hard to get like funding
Uh-huh.
for a person who have a felony.
It's difficult. It's difficult.
And
It's
that's
very
what
difficult.
I'm trying to do now, because I have a business name. It's called Janie's Mom and Pop Shop,
Mm-hmm.
and I have everything that I need, but I don't have the funding
Mhm.
to push it forward,
Mhm.
to do
See,
anything to help people that have felonies,
Mhm.
to help them to do different things and stuff, because I understand that it is hard for them to do things.
Right. So this is what we need to then do. I was talking about support groups and how important it is to have support groups. We need to create support groups for individuals like you who have, yes, you have had a felony, you have made some changes in your life, and now you've created a business. We need support groups that's going to help you to support that business. Help those individuals to identify what it is you do and what we can do to help you to fund those businesses. So it is so very important, and we thank you for calling in and talking about your situation. But the one thing that we want people to understand, that yes, it's difficult, but yet not impossible. And a lot of times when we talk about entrepreneurship and creating, designing businesses, it's for the individuals like yourself who have already accomplished that, and then we get it out there. It ain't just about, and one of the things that we make sure you do, give us a call. You say you've been to our programs. We do fairs, health fairs all the time. We do June, we do a HIV prevention week where we do a number of different programs, and we get tables and set up so people will know who you are and what you're doing and what type of services you can provide. And it's not just those who would utilize those services, but it's also those who would support those services. So don't get discouraged because it's going to be difficult. We know that. You know that with that Class X, it's going to be difficult. But the thing is, we know that it's possible. And we know that it's possible through you based on what you've done to this point. So don't get discouraged. We want you to make sure that you come and you get before a group of individuals who and say, look, I've been there, I've done that. This is what I'm doing, but I still need help. I still need support. People need to know it, and the right people need to know it. So whatever you do, don't give up. Continue to move forward. And don't stop coming to the center, because it's those after you who need to see you. You need to talk about that felony and what it has done. You know, we talk about prevention. Okay, well, if you do this, this is what you got coming. So we want to make sure that we provide as much. When we talk about holistic approach, it ain't always the good. We have to talk about the good and the bad and the indifference. And we have to talk about what not to do. And individuals who have done it need to be before them and say, look, I've done that. You don't have to make all of these mistakes yourself to learn. I'm gonna let you see, show you, guide you, direct you on what not to do. So we thank you for calling in. We thank all of you. This time goes fast, but we'll be back again on next week. We'll do continuations and follow-ups, so make sure that you tune in. We'll be on every Wednesday at 5 o'clock, the Southside Help Center show. If I didn't get to you, please forgive me. Give me a call at the agency. That number is 773-445-5445. We'll talk about those last two core elements on the next time that we see you. Until then, we thank you and we bid you peace.